Hello everyone. Back in 2020 when Anchorsholme Park reopened, there were literally no trees in the park bar one at the entrance. This was largely due to the extreme windy conditions that we get in Anchorsholme with strong coastal winds, and some of those winds can easily average between 20-30 miles an hour. Throw in the sea coastal sprays as well, and not a lot will grow. We were, however, determined to find a tree that would grow in such conditions and came across the Cordyline Australis. Many of you will probably know it as the Torbay palm. So over in 2021 and 2022, we planted around 40 Cordyline Australis multistem ones. Those are the ones with lots of different branches. And we planted them in two different areas of what is known as the African riverbed. We called it the African riverbed based on the fact that the swale is dry in the summer and wet in the winter. And with the types of trees we were planting, it would in time look quite exotic. We planted lots of trees in 2021 and 10 in 2022. In the pictures you can see the volunteers hard at work as we plant them. So here we are in a cold, crisp January morning 2025 in Anchorsholme Park. And despite me just talking about how windy it is in Anchorsholme and why there are no trees on this section here, there is no wind. It's a gorgeous day. It's so crisp and even. I don't know if you can see, but just over there where that red van's just gone past are the Lake District and some snow on those hills. It's not a clear day today. And just over there is the windmills. So what I'm going to do now is take you around and show you how those trees are getting on that we planted. And I want to turn the camera around, but the sun's really low, so you wouldn't be able to see anything. So I'm going to walk a bit further around and then show you how it all looks today. And here are those same trees all these years later. Was it 2-3 years later now? Yes, it'll be 3 years. And they look pretty good considering they get absolutely battered by the winds here. And you can see the how much has died off them, but their core is surviving. And I think this tree here is probably the furthest or the closest tree in Blackpool to the sea at the moment. So this is a real tough fella, because the winds come from this direction here and then they come and hit it this side, which is why it's slightly there's more growth on that side, but that is holding up really well. It's a healthy tree, and hopefully in time that will get bigger. We'll just have a look at the others, show you about the litter that's blown in, and again they're surviving well, and they've got pretty big, all things considering. But you can see there's more growth on this side than the side that faces the sea. There's a lot of healthy tree there. That's a really good sign. There's not many trees could survive what they've had. And just walking further along. There we go, yeah. You can really see the multi-stems on that. There's 3 different trees growing in effect there. And again, they look really healthy. That's doing really well. And over the next sort of year or so, they'll really start to sprout. So this one's doing well. Again, you can see there's some growth in that now. They've definitely grown, I would say about 1.5 foot since they went in. That one's doing well. And these are sort of, because we've got 10 in a smaller distance. Oh, and I really need just to go back a little bit. Forgive me. There's a sign for the Seroptimists who kindly paid for it. And I have just done a funding bid to get them a proper sign and explain what this project's all about the tree planting and the African riverbed theme that we're trying to develop here. This one's not doing too bad either, actually. Looks more single stem than multi-stem at the moment. And going further along, this one's doing really well. It's a little bit more protected, but it's absolutely filled out and got bigger and looks great. It's a really good sized tree. So I'm really pleased to say, because it's the remaining 3, that they've all survived. They've done really well. Done really well. I'm really pleased. This one's a little bit sticky and smaller, but it's not doing too bad. It's still growing. Could do a little protection still with its lower leaves not being pulled off. That's a shame, but you can pull them off and they do okay, but I prefer to keep them on as long as you can, because it's just that little bit more protection from them, certainly from dogweed. And then coming up to the final tree, so I'm really pleased to say the first 10 have survived really well. That's a really good start. So let's go and have a look at the others. And here I am on the other side, and this is one of the trees we planted. Gosh, I have to check the times now when we planted that, but it's doing really well. This again picks up quite a lot of wind on this side, but that's looking pretty healthy. You can see there's one bit that's died on the side, so there's 2 out of 3 of the stems have come back, which is great. One of the beauties of Cordyline Australis is that they keep coming back and keep growing back. So as you snap one bit off, it sends a message, and there's a good example of that here. Now there's a big gap here. We did lose a tree on this side, and this was due to the snow we had about 2 years ago. So we're going to replace that tree this year at some point, and just go further along. You can see some bigger gaps here. So this was meant to work in the same pattern as up there, that they would be horizontal of each other. So one there, one there, one there, one there, like a sort of a diamondy type pattern. Now this one here, unfortunately, suffered quite a bit of damage to the snow. One bit survived and somebody's just gone and pushed it, which is a shame. So but you can see the growth it had. It was doing really well till the snow 2 years ago. So we're going to put a stake in and try and save that on Wednesday. And but there is some growth next to it, but we are going to plant another tree nearby that as well. And then we come up to these, and so it's a shame that we lost the ones we did, because the pattern sort of has changed as a result. But you can see these now that we planted, they're doing really well. They've got height and width and depth to them, so yeah, they're doing brilliantly. And again, it's a little bit more sheltered when you look to the protection it's got here. Yeah, that's looking really good. And what we've also done is I brought a load of Cordyline Australis Multistem, actually single one, sorry, this time, for £1 each off Facebook Marketplace. So I planted just there. Lots of other ones to work in parallel on this pathway here. So they're doing okay there. That one's looking really good. It's grown a lot in that time. I replaced one there that died because of the snow. That's now growing, and you can see that one there. And opposite there is this one. Again, another sort of cheaper one I got for £1. So it's at baby stage. And then we've got this one here. Again, they're doing really well down here. I'm really pleased with these. Going great height, looking really good. And you can also see they've started to have there, look, little babies. So they're getting to a mature age now, and they're looking really good. Again, planted one directly opposite it there. So this area been a big success. They've survived both the winds. They're growing really well now, and also they've survived any vandalism as well. So this is the sort of pattern that we want. So it goes that there, that side. So we want to encourage that all the way along and put some more in as well. So I'm just working on funding bids on that. Again, same pattern over there, and then there's one, yeah. Again, that was one of the £1 ones. So that's doing really well. It's looking pretty good actually. And then just here. And here we have this one, and this is looking really good. It's got great height to it. It's growing brilliantly, really. Lots of different layers of that tree, and again you can see the difference that sort of hill slope makes. So it's sort of missing a lot of that wind, and that's it's looking really good. But you can sort of see the pattern that we're creating here, and our plan is, as I say, to put some more in. and then there's one on the opposite side there. And then we just go further down. We've got just this one here, again looking great. So largely I would say in 3 years, 3-4 years, they've done really well. Big difference. And we were inspired by that tree down there, which I'll go and take you to. But you can see some more that we've got growing along here at different stages, and then we've got one here, which is the last of the £1 ones that we put in. So in time we will have lots and lots of trees, and we can prove that we can grow trees on the coast of Blackpool, and hopefully spread the word of what type of tree, and also give it a really exotic feeling, and that itself is pretty special. Always make you feel like you're going on holiday when you go to the park. And this was the tree that inspired us. So this is about 10, 12, 13, probably 15 years old now actually, but this has weathered all sorts, and it's absolutely brilliant. It survived the change when they redeveloped the park here, which I'll update you about in a video one day. But because of that, it's got taller and big. It's been undisturbed, and it's inspired us to know which type of tree will grow here. So imagine that area there with lots of trees that look like that, and you can see the pond there all frozen. It's a cold old day today, but yes, so thank you to this tree for giving us the guidance on what would work. That's probably my best advice for anyone who's planting anything in there. Just look what else is growing nearby. Now at this corner here, if you look at the pond, this is the final section where we've planted trees so far. We have one there, and then these other ones just here, and then going up to there. There it is. So what happens next is we want to increase the number of trees we're planting to put some more in this area. There's a lot of clay in this area, so we'll have to sort of dig that out more and give them more space to grow in, and have the right sort of mix of sand and soil for them, because they don't like too much water either, so there needs to be a good draining soil for them. So clay's not ideal, which is why these have been slower to grow, even though they're quite well protected. So yes, I'll update you as we do that, and hopefully this year we'll win those funding bids and we'll have the money to put more trees in. But I roughly counted about 25-30 odd trees, I'd say, at a guess. So yes, I'll update you with how we get on in that journey through the year, and obviously the years to come, as you see these trees keep getting bigger and bigger, and it just shows that you can plant trees in Blackpool, and that I'm really proud of. And yeah, especially if we can prove that this particular type of tree can be planted elsewhere in the town, that would be amazing. So yes, thank you for me. Like and subscribe, and continue in our positive journey. Take care, everyone.